What happens when Real Madrid breaks every rule they've protected for decades for one man? Not Zidane, not Ancelotti, but Jose Mourinho. The man who once made all of Europe fear him and hate him at the same time. Now, Florentino Perez is reportedly willing to give Mourinho something no manager has ever truly had at Real Madrid: absolute power. But the scariest part isn't Mourinho's return. It's the names already being linked to his new empire. And if these rumors become reality, European football may be about to witness the most dangerous version of Real Madrid in years. Trust me, the final part of this story will leave every Madridista speechless. Real Madrid has never been an easy place for managers to survive. This is a club where power has always belonged to the boardroom, where President Florentino Perez controls nearly everything, from the club's image and transfer strategy to its long-term vision. But this time, something feels different. Reports surrounding Jose Mourinho's possible return to the Santiago Bernabeu are exploding across Spanish media. While nothing has been officially confirmed yet, more and more signs suggest that Perez is seriously considering bringing the special one back to rescue Real Madrid from its current instability. And the most shocking part is not Mourinho returning. It's the possibility that Florentino Perez is ready to give him more power than any manager in modern Real Madrid history. That changes everything. For decades, Real Madrid has rarely allowed coaches full control over transfers. Even legends like Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane operated within the structure designed by Perez. But Mourinho has always been the exception. Perez has never hidden his admiration for him. To the Real Madrid president, Mourinho is more than a coach. He's a symbol of charisma, intensity, media dominance, and ruthless ambition. Mourinho was the man who dragged Real Madrid out of Barcelona's shadow during Pep Guardiola's golden era and transformed a mentally fragile squad into a terrifying winning machine. That is why Perez believes Mourinho could rebuild Real Madrid once again, and this time he may be willing to change the club's entire philosophy to make it happen. One of the biggest changes could come in the transfer strategy. For years, Real Madrid focused heavily on signing future superstars, players like Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Vinicius Jr., and Endrick. Perez preferred investing in young talents with long-term potential rather than experienced veterans. But Mourinho doesn't build teams that way. He wants players who are battle-tested, players who can handle pressure immediately, players with personality, leadership, and a winning mentality. And Real Madrid appears ready to adapt for him. According to several European reports, Madrid may become more flexible in signing experienced players and could even become more aggressive during winter transfer windows, something Perez historically avoided. That shift becomes even more important when looking at the current state of Real Madrid's squad. The defensive crisis is becoming impossible to ignore. Eder Militao continues to struggle with injuries. David Alaba is no longer at his peak. Antonio Rudiger's future remains uncertain. Meanwhile, the squad depth has weakened significantly after 2 turbulent seasons. And this is where Mourinho thrives. He is not the type of manager who builds beautiful football for social media highlights. He builds teams to win. One of the first names linked to Mourinho's plans is Sporting CP midfielder Morten Hjulmand. The Danish international has emerged as one of Europe's most effective defensive midfielders, known for his positioning, tactical discipline, and ability to control transitions. This is exactly the type of player Mourinho loves. Not flashy, not obsessed with headlines, but absolutely essential to the system. At a young age, Hjulmand has already shown remarkable maturity in the Champions League. His passing accuracy, defensive awareness, and relentless work rate make him a perfect fit for Mourinho's philosophy. But that may only be the beginning. The name that has truly excited Madridistas is Alessandro Bastoni. The Italian defender is widely considered one of the most complete centre-backs in world football today. Not only is he elite defensively, but his ability to progress the ball from the back is world-class, something Mourinho deeply values in modern defenders. Even more interestingly, fans quickly noticed Bastoni interacting with posts related to Mourinho and Real Madrid on social media. In modern football, even a simple like can trigger massive speculation. And if Madrid really pushes to sign Bastoni, it would send a message to all of Europe. Because Bastoni is not just another defender. He could become the foundation of Real Madrid's future defense for years to come. Mourinho understands that perfectly. Throughout his career, he has always built his greatest teams from the back. Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, and even his first Real Madrid side all shared the same DNA. Defensive steel, deadly transitions, and an almost ruthless competitive mentality. And perhaps the most dangerous thing about Mourinho, he knows how to turn broken dressing rooms into war machines. That is exactly why Perez believes he may be the right man to fix the current emotional instability inside the squad. Several report sites suggest tensions remain behind the scenes regarding motivation, hierarchy, and individual egos. Mourinho has never feared conflict with superstars. In fact, he often performs best under pressure. He creates siege mentality. He builds a us against the world culture. And that mentality once transformed Real Madrid into one of the most feared teams in Europe. Fans still remember the 2011 to 2012 season, 121 goals in La Liga, 100 points. A league title against Guardiola's legendary Barcelona. That was not just tactical success, it was a psychological revolution. And now Perez hopes lightning can strike twice. But Mourinho's plans reportedly go beyond the squad itself. He is also believed to be interested in restructuring parts of the coaching and leadership environment around the club. Some rumors even suggest he wants former Real Madrid legends involved behind the scenes to strengthen the connection between the dressing room and management. One name constantly mentioned is Toni Kroos. If true, that could be a brilliant move. Kroos understands Real Madrid's winning culture better than almost anyone. Mourinho knows that succeeding at the Bernabeu requires far more than tactics. You must control psychology, control media pressure, control the dressing room, and above all, control expectations. That has always been one of Mourinho's greatest strengths. Of course, this entire project carries enormous risk. Today's Mourinho is no longer the same unstoppable figure from his Inter Milan or early Chelsea years. In recent seasons, his career has included more controversy than trophies. Some critics believe modern football has evolved beyond Mourinho's style. But many others believe the opposite, that Mourinho never lost his winning mentality. He simply hasn't had the right environment to unleash it fully again, and Real Madrid might be the perfect place for one final resurrection. Especially with Florentino Perez under increasing pressure to restore dominance and secure his political future within the club, he needs a figure powerful enough to unite both the squad and the fan base. Mourinho is exactly that kind of figure. He creates chaos, but he also creates belief. And if Real Madrid truly hands him complete authority, Europe should be worried. Because history has already shown something terrifying. When Jose Mourinho is fully trusted, he often creates some of the most mentally ruthless teams football has ever seen. So now the question becomes, will this be the glorious final chapter of the special one? Or the biggest gamble of Florentino Perez's entire presidency? Comment below. If Mourinho returns to Real Madrid, do you think he succeeds or fails? And if you were Florentino Perez, would you dare to give Mourinho total power one more time?